morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Squat Club. This morning we've got our active recovery day, which is great because the body will adapt to anything you do. So if you sit all day or if you trash yourself in workouts all day, once a week, bring it down, fix that body. What we've got today, 5 different movements, 1 minute each, 4 different rounds that'll leave your posture improved, your hips open, your lower back feeling better. What are you waiting for? But this is the 5 a.m. Squat Club. We're going to do more than just workout. First step, we're going to prime our minds. Let's go. All right, so if you're new here, my name's Adam, and I've been coaching fitness for 25 years. In the last 5 years, we've become farmers and parents, and as a result, life has become extremely busy. So if I want to maintain fitness progress, it happens before they wake up. This is the system that we use every single morning to do so. Day 452 right now. First step is a squat. So get your feet underneath your hips, heels planted on the floor. If you feel like you're gonna fall over, grab onto some sort of counterbalance. And while we're here, we're gonna breathe. Following the animation on the right, it's a box breath, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 second hold again. And we'll go through priming our mind at the same time. So follow the breathing. First one is I am responsible. And that's the most important one. It just means that nobody else is going to achieve your goals for you. Nobody's going to do it. Nobody cares about your goals and whether you're failing or succeeding like you do. So I am responsible. Take accountability. Number 2 is I will make time between stimulus and response. And that's more so about the people around me getting a better version of me, not getting a snappy reaction. Take a sec, breathe, give a better response. Next is I have all I need to succeed today, and we'll focus on progress over perfection. So many people think that they don't have the tools or they don't have what they need to get to their goals. But if you just take a step back and look, you will notice that you have the tools to take today's step, and so on and so forth over the subsequent days. Last is I choose gratitude. Focus on the fact that there are things that are good, right? Drive, move forward, improve, but at the same time, look at the good. All right, let's get moving today. Press the right button. Okay, so on active recovery day, we will take an abbreviated warm-up, but we're never gonna skip this part. So what we're looking at is hands on the floor. You can walk yourself back or jump back all the way down to the floor and then get yourself all the way back up. And we're just gonna hop and clap overhead to celebrate. We're gonna go 2 minutes here, just getting the blood flowing in the body a little bit. Obviously, on active recovery day, we're not gonna need quite the same warm-up as we would do on a regular training day. So we're just gonna get in our burpees, get the blood flowing a little bit, and then we'll work on our active recovery. Today's focus is gonna be opening up the hips to counteract a lot of the sitting that we do, opening up the upper back to improve our posture. Because modern life is pulling us away from our natural postures, putting us in chairs for multiple hours a day, which leads to tight hip flexors and oftentimes low back pain as a result of the hip flexors. So once a week, we make sure at least to take it down a notch in terms of intensity and make sure that our body is getting what it needs. One, to, feel good, whatever that means subjectively. But 2, it keeps it in a state that we can keep training, right? I want to be able to live independently, do the things I want to do for life. And if I'm not taking care of my body and my mind, obviously we'll talk more about that, then my body's going to fail. It's not going to support me in this endeavor. So we keep it moving every day, making sure that we're building capacity, but at the same time taking care of our bodies and understanding that the goal is not perfect, right? Progress over perfection. Your body's never gonna feel perfect, right? There'll always be little aches and pains. That is a result of being human and using your body. So don't aim for perfect, aim for better, aim for improvement. All right, let's talk about this. Okay, so what we need today is basically just a pull-up bar. We've got 5 movements to set up here for So get that pull-up bar set up. I'm not even on the screen here. And we'll talk about our 5 different movements. So first one is gonna be a tabletop. Hands on the floor, feet on the ground. Send the hips up, squeeze the butt hard. Point is to open up the hips there. I'm gonna talk more about these as we go, obviously. Number 2 is our Paleo Squat. We do this all the time, feet underneath the hips. Come on down into your passive squat. I can talk about how to make this harder or easier as we go. Number 3 is just our dead hang. Excuse me. You can do this with the feet on the ground or not, up to you. We're just trying to open up the shoulders. So you can keep the feet down behind you or fully relax into a dead hang. Number 4, see me? It's a rocking runner's lunge. You may want a mat on the floor for this one. You're gonna get yourself into a long lunge position. Squeeze the butt cheek on the back leg to send the hips forwards and down. And we're just gonna rock one side for 30 seconds, and then the other side for 30 seconds. And our last one is just a bounce, but I really wanna focus on the bounce on tilting the pelvis, right? If you see my low back here, I'm exaggerating, it's very arched. I don't wanna hop around like that. I wanna tilt the pelvis, bring that thing underneath me, so a little bit of ab squeeze, a little bit of butt squeeze the whole time for the bounce. So set up your space, grab a sip of water, and then let's do this. It's not sitting alone that is messing up your back. It's doing it for 8 hours a day. But anything you do for 8 hours a day, your body is going to adapt to. This morning, we are going to talk about how to fix low back pain through working through the hips. 5 different movements that will open you up, leave you feeling more human, and get you ready for the rest of the week. Let's go. All right, team, let's talk about our active recovery session for today. 4 rounds, 5 different movements. First one is going to be tabletop. Hands and feet on the floor, facing upwards, and your goal here is to push into the floor, squeeze the butt, get the hips nice and straight, creating a straight line from the shoulder to the knee. You can hold that the whole time or move up and down. Number 2 is gonna be our Paleo Squat. Feet underneath the hips. We're gonna sit down passively. We can talk about different ways to do this while we're there, but if you need a counterbalance because you're gonna fall over, hold something out in front. Number 3, just gonna be a dead hang. Opening up the thoracic spine, getting that posture improved. You can dead hang completely or put the feet on the ground behind you and push your chest through your arms. We're gonna talk about these as we go, so you don't need to remember all of it and all the details, as we'll have 4 rounds and we can talk about different variations as we work through it. Second last one is a rocking runner's lunge. So you're gonna get yourself into a nice long lunge position on the ground, and then we're gonna squeeze the butt on that back leg to push the hips forwards and down, and we're gonna rock there for 30 seconds, switch sides, and do the other 30 seconds. Last one is a bounce. I'm gonna talk about that more as we go, but the main factor here is get the butt underneath you, right? I don't want my butt sticking out back arched. I want to be straight up and down, so a little bit of butt squeeze, a little bit of ab squeeze, a little bit of leg squeeze to support the pelvis, and we're bouncing. All right, team. If your space is set up, fantastic. Hit the thumbs up button, have a sip of water. Not crazy high intensity today, but we are moving to fix our posture, heal our bodies. Ready? Movement 1 is our tabletop. In 3, 2, 1. Head. So hips are up high, pushing them up towards the ceiling. Your goal here, right? We spend a lot of time in a hip flexed position where the hips are closed. We want to work on opening them and strengthening the muscles that open the hips. So your butt, when you squeeze it, straightens the line in your hip. This is called hip extension, right? Hip flexion is the closing. Hip extension is the opening of the joint. And we don't spend enough time actively opening the hips. So your main focus here is squeezing the butt, pushing the hips up to the ceiling. On this first round, we're just gonna focus on staying here and doing that. As we warm up, we can start moving this around if you'd like. but really just focusing on the butt should be burning here. You should feel it burning a little bit, turning up the heat there as you go. It should burn more and more throughout this minute. 10 seconds. We're going to go to our paleo chair. 5, 3, 2, 1. So feet are back underneath the hips, and we're just in our squat position. So first round, we're just going to hang out here nice and relaxed. Even if this is easy, we're opening it up. So the one of the main things that's happening here, one, we're just opening up the hips into a natural position that humans are meant to spend time in. This is our natural human rest position. It's our natural human poop position. And so many of us, because we never get down here, lose this ability. So one, we're increasing flexibility in the hips, but at the same time, if you look at my back, on the side screen there, it is in flexion, right? It's not in its natural arched curvature. Because the hips are pulling it under, it's rounded, right? As opposed to here, which would be more neutral. So what's happening here is the spine is unloaded. I'm getting some relaxation in the low back that's normally pulled on by the hip flexors. All right, next to the hang. So get on your pull-up bar. As I like to do on this active recovery day, is get the feet behind me. So you could do one of two, obviously, just dead hang regularly, making sure the shoulders are relaxed, the chest is through, or I have my feet behind me and I'm pushing myself through, pushing my chest through my arms, trying to open up the upper back a little bit more, focusing on thoracic extension, right? Our upper back normally rounds forward, which is called kyphosis. And because we look down so much, be it at our computers or our phones or whatever, we end up with hyperkyphosis. The back rounds over more than it should, and as a result starts to adapt to it. So opening that up through an exercise like this is the goal. 3, 2, 1, going to our runner's lunge. So just get down on the floor. You can use a mat for this one if you want. You're just pushing the hips forwards by squeezing that butt cheek and coming back out. We're gonna go 30 seconds per side here. Squeeze the butt, push forward and down. Back up, squeeze the butt, push forward and down. You're gonna feel a good stretch in the front hip flexor, or in the hip flexor that is the leg behind you. Try to keep the breathing nice and steady. Hips down and forward, up and back. 30 seconds, switch sides. Excuse me, dog. Think about pushing forward, squeezing that butt cheek. And in 20 seconds, we're gonna bounce. I'm gonna talk about why this bounce is important to posture and to your low back. It's a big one. 10 seconds. Hey, daddy. All right, we're coming up to our bounce. You're thinking feet pretty much together and bouncing. I'm intentionally bending the knees a little bit here to push the hips underneath. What I don't want is my butt behind me and my chest up arched. I want hips underneath and just bouncing up and down. And what we're doing here, two things. One, setting the pelvis, right? If we're not conscious of it and intentional, we will end up arched there and we'll feel this in the low back. And two, why we do it, especially like this, is to train our bodies to create tension through bouncing, and especially create tension in the right position. Because I can lock into this arch and create tension there, but that is definitely not the position I want to be in to support this. So abs and butt are squeezed a little bit so that I can maintain my pelvis in the right position, which supports the spine, doesn't pull on. Round 2, back to the tabletop. So once again, you can do reps here, down and up. You could even put some weights on your hips. You know, you could put a dumbbell up on your hips and fight against that. You could just hold it. You could walk around. Just make sure that we're really focused on the hips being open, because I don't want to crab walk. I want to make sure that extension is being forced by squeezing the butt, pushing those hips up to the ceiling. Keep pushing up, keep squeezing. Focus on the breathing while you're here, trying to keep it in the nose, out the mouth. The butt's not burning. Push up a little higher. See if you can lift it up higher. Keep working. Keep pushing it up. Keep squeezing the butt. 10 seconds. Paleo squat is next. 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to the squat. Focus on slowing down the breath. Thinking about letting the back unload here, right? Letting it come into flexion. Excuse me, a little bit. Right, the low back normally sits in called lordosis, which is the curvature inwards. And right now what we're doing is reversing that. Right, we're taking it from lordosis to kyphosis, which is that rounding outwards. And we're unloading, right? I wouldn't put myself in a heavy back squat in this position, because that's not, I'm not going to be supported there. But can I unload it without weight? Yeah. And is that going to be good for it? Yeah. So we're technically stretching the hip flexors a little bit here, as much as the hips are closed, just through pulling the back away. All right, hang. 3, 2, 1. Back on the hang. Round 2. You should start feeling a little bit looser as we go here. These positions should be easier to get into. / you should be able to kind of push yourself a little bit further into them as the body opens up. If not, don't worry about it. Just really focus on taking your breath into each one of these. Notice I'm going a little bit unilateral here, pushing through one side and then switching, getting a good stretch along the side of the body as well. Because anything in the front or sides is tight, because we tend to hunch over, lean over, look down, all of the above. Right? So if you can aim to make yourself more human or less attached to your phone, the better. The better the body is going to feel. 3, 2, 1 into our runner's lunge. So back into that nice long lunge, and we're just pulsing the hips forwards, back and forth. I know that a lot of these workouts on the YouTubes, they aim to do no repeats, right? They aim to do just one set of each movement, and you end up doing whatever, 20 or 30 or 40 different exercises. The reason why we don't do that, right? The reason why I'm spending 4 minutes on each one of these things, that's 30, switch sides, right? Why we're doing 4 different rounds of all these same movements is because each time you go through it, you should be able to improve, right? You should be able to get into a better position. You should be able to get a little further. And each time we do this, each round is opening up these joints, opening up the body so that you can improve those positions. Same thing goes with strength training or fitness. If you only do one set, you're not training your body to do it better. And at the same time, all right, last one, we're bouncing. And at the same time, you don't get as much experience, you don't build the skill, and at the same time, your body's not warming up and you're not able to kind of increase the intensity in that movement because you don't get to get back to it. So we repeat intentionally so that we can get more practice on those movements, get a little bit more volume, which will lead to more results. And a lot of the movements that we do require practice, right? They're not just low skill. You actually have to learn how to do them, and the more times you get to practice them, the better you're going to get at them at the same time. So that's why we repeat. That's why we're doing 4 rounds of this, so that we can train our bodies more, right? I'm building a neural pattern here to keep the pelvis underneath me when I jump, and the more reps I get, the better I get at it. All right, round 3, back to the tabletop. The bouncing brings the heart rate up a little bit, which is nice. And now we're just focusing on opening the hips. You're squeezing your butt cheeks. You could even alternate. Try to squeeze the right butt cheek, squeeze the left butt cheek, and go back and forth. See if you can push the hips up a little bit higher on each one. This should be probably the least comfortable. Well, I guess it really depends on where you're at. Paleo squat may be less comfortable for you. Personally, this one burns the most. That's the only one that burns. Keep pushing those hips up. Keep them up to the ceiling, right? Straight line through the hips. Strengthen those glutes. To tilt the pelvis underneath you, support the upper body, right? If the pelvis is off, the upper body is compensating to support the head. And as a result, we arch. All right, Paleo Squat. 3, 2, 1. Back to the squat. So relaxing in here. If you wanted to make this harder, if you're feeling fantastic, what you could do is you could go from passive to active. Just bring the chest up and then relax back down to passive and just alternate through that. If you really wanted, you could take a leg out and get into a pistol squat. But we're not gonna, we don't need to mess around with that. We're really just focusing on opening up. What you can do is push the knees apart. Get in, go side to side, pushing those knees out, or even both elbows. If you can bring your hands together, shove the knees out without the feet going with them, right? So I don't want to have the feet turn out at the same time. I want to maintain my arches here, right? Take a look down. Are your arches off the ground, or are they collapsing in? And if so, press those knees out. All right, going back to the hang. 3, 2, 1. Back on your bar or your tree or whatever you got. In that demo video, I was hanging on a cedar tree, so you don't need equipment. Don't need fancy pull-up bar. This feels so good, this sideways business. If you haven't tried this one out, give her a go. Hang with your feet on the ground and turn. April's chasing flies. Turn so that you can get the side of the body opened up. So I'm hanging into one side here, pushing my body forward through. Try to focus on big, long breaths. Wow, what a stretch to the lats and the side of the abs, the obliques. Oh, I could do this all day. 10. Coming back to our runner's lunge. 3, 2, 1. All right, back on the lunge. I'm actually starting to warm up here. It's good for an active recovery day. Generally, what we talk about is, it's a successful active recovery day if you finish and the body feels so good that you want to do a workout. You're nice and warmed up and everything feels kind of fresh and ready to go. We call it there and we try not to do a workout, but that is the sign of, you probably did it right. Things feel nice. You could see yourself getting into a good strong squat or a good setup position for a pull from the floor or whatever it is. That means you've done it right. Obviously, the more often we do something like this, the more those benefits become permanent, right? The more time you spend doing one thing, the more it becomes what you do or how your body works. 3, we're bouncing. 2, 1. Just like if you sit all day, your body conforms to that position. Once again, just before we get too into it, bend the knees, bring the hips forwards a little bit, make sure that the spine is neutral, vertical, not too arched. As I'm saying though, that our bodies will adapt. So if you sit all day, you're going to get really good at sitting. Your body is going to conform to that shape. Whereas if you aim to open your hips or you aim to get in the Paleo Squat, or anything you do, your body will adapt to. That is what is amazing about these vessels that we have, that you can put it under any stimulus and it's going to conform, it's going to adapt. Be it quote unquote positive or negative, whether you've chosen it or defaulted to it, the body will learn and it will adapt and it'll get better at it, whether it's a good thing or not. All right, last round. Back to the tabletop. Let's go, team. Squeeze those hips. Push them up to the ceiling or squeeze the glutes, squeeze the butt. Get off there, fly. Stay with another 40 seconds. Push those hips up higher. Every 5 seconds or so, check, am I sinking? And could I get back up a little bit higher? Didn't even talk about it, but we're opening up the shoulders here at the same time. You could walk the hands back. You could just change your hand position to open up the shoulders more or less. Oof. fingers forwards is a lot. Keep pushing the hips up though. Keep checking. Can I push the hips up more? Can I squeeze my butt more? Keep it up. Another 10 seconds. Keep squeezing the butt. Pushing to the floor. Lift. Ooh, it's burning. It's burning. Go to Paleo Squat. 3, 2, 1. Back down. All right, we are almost there. So again, you can shift side to side. You can shove the knees apart, but making sure that the feet don't go with them. So the feet should be pointing more or less straight forwards while you drive those knees out. Trying to keep the big toe, the base of the big toe on the ground as well. Trying not to let the feet roll out completely onto the edges. You can do a little side to side. You can do a little lift and relax, lift, relax. All good. You could even twist. You could do our reach and twist. You could do another round after you're done, after we are done. You could do this all day if you had the time. Be all good. 10 seconds. We're going to our hang. Last hang. 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. What do you got, dog? Oh, good. A bum. Nice. She actually got something that she's supposed to have. All right. Slow the breathing. Let that chest fall through. One side, both sides, or a full dead hang. Obviously, lots of benefit to the grip there as well. But if we're really focusing on opening up the upper back, then get that chest through the arms. It's 30. Keep focusing on that breath. Consider hitting that thumbs up button as well, team, if you like this. If you see value in what we're doing here, spread the message. This is just one day a week. We do active recovery. Rest of the week, we're doing different workouts, making sure that we are always doing different stimulus, functional movements, runner's lunge. Last one? No, second last one. Last lunge though. But as I'm saying, our goals are to be consistent with our habits and build fitness and our goals by getting up early and taking action, right? It is 5:30 a.m. right now. Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, maybe not 5 a.m. or 5:30, excuse me. But if you're to do this at 5:30, switch if you haven't, sorry. You can get it done every day without anybody stealing that time. If you're trying to wait for time or look for time to come to you, it's not going to, right? Your life is busy and your time will be filled by the tasks that you give it. 3, 2, 1, last bounce. So, if you want to be consistent, that's why we get up early. That's why we carve out the time so I can show my kids that, hey, I can take action on my goals. I am responsible and I have all I need to succeed today. Not, oh, I don't have the time. I couldn't find the time. I couldn't make the time. You'll only have the time if you make it. If you sacrifice something else, you make a trade, right? I'm gonna trade scrolling and staying up late at night for getting up early and making progress. I'm choosing consciously what I want out of my life as opposed to just drifting through it and getting what everybody else gets. Keep bouncing, keep that pelvis tilted, keep the abs on. Another 13 seconds and we are done for today. Obviously, if you're here on the live stream, we're gonna do our homework. That is the most important part, and check some farm clips. And there we go. But if you're just hanging out on the workout, on our active recovery session, fantastic job. Give yourself a pat on the back for taking action on your fitness, on your body. Most people are sleeping or neglecting it. Hit that thumbs up button. All right, we need a stretch. Let's cool it down, team. Hey there, what you drinking? 2 shots, let's pour it up. All right. What I'm going to suggest here is that you choose any stretch you need. So depending on how you're feeling from the day, or from the week, excuse me. Wherever you're sore, get in something for that. So personally, I'm just gonna sit here and open up the hamstrings a little bit, except this dog is in the way. Excuse me, dog. So I'm just gonna sit straight-legged, and I'm gonna go hands to the feet here, just getting a little bit of hamstring tension. So, and while we're here, we can talk about that same concept that, you know, whatever goal you have, take action on it, right? If you want fitness, like get up early, carve out the time. Right, anything that you want is within your grasp if you take action. It's so simple. If you want something, just to do it. If you talk about it and don't do it, then like that's what most people do. You know, hey, I'm going to do this thing, or I want to do this thing, or I'm going to talk about it, but it only happens if you take action, right? So this is part of our, Maple, stop. It's so hard to press the buttons when you're doing this. That is literally part of our 5 a.m. Squat Club system, is post-exercise, when the mind is clear and the body is calm, is to take action on our goals. Define our goals first, whatever that big picture is, break it down to the one step that if you do over and over and over again every day, those goals have no choice but to be achieved. Doesn't matter what your goals are, right? It could be to build an orchard. It could be to become a dog groomer, I don't know, a dog sledder, maybe that's kind of cool. Maybe it's to write a book. Whatever it is, learn the skills, practice the skills every day of becoming that person, and over time you can do it, you can get there. So we're going to show a couple clips here of the life that we are building through daily action, so you can see some examples, and then we'll call it a day. So here are my girls checking out the cows. My mother's there as well, so we're talking a little bit about the rams are in there as well. As you can see, those are the 2 older rams eating some burdock. The younger rams are out there doing whatever. And my mom was there asking about that third cow. You can see she's a little bit bony. I don't know if you can see her, the white face one. Her hips are a little bony. And she was like that when we got her, and the guy said that, you know, over time she should fatten up back up because she doesn't have that calf on her anymore. So far she's not fattening up. I wonder if she's got a bad back end. So there are the girls learning about farming. Oh, and then here, this is chemical agriculture here. So we went across, this is next door to my house. Really on all sides of me is this chemical factory agriculture, we're going to call it. This is a field of wheat that they are combining and putting away. And this is the narrative of we've got to feed the world. Understand, this is not feeding the world. Most of this chemical agriculture, the corn, wheat, and soy that we grow, goes for biofuels, right? So they're making ethanol and stuff with the corn, or cow feed. So a lot of this stuff does not even feed humans. So this narrative of we need to do this chemical agriculture to feed the world is a lie. But at the same time, my girls love to go see these big machines. Oh, that's the wrong video again. And I like to see the big machines as long as as much as this is not in line. So this is what's next to my house. This giant field of monoculture, chemically grown and sprayed wheat. If you're unfamiliar with this process, I mean, I know some of you don't live in North America, but in North America, what they do is they spray glyphosate on this wheat like 1 or 2 days before harvest to dry it out. They use it as a desiccator, I don't know what the word is. But just think about the food that you eat. I mean, especially if it comes from North American chemical agriculture, like grains for the most part, it is grown in a way that is bad for the planet, bad for the humans. This is not food, right? This is factory farming, and it is not true that we need this to feed the world. Yes, we would need to transition our systems to be able to, you know, do it right, but there is more abundance on this planet than we need, and we don't need to do this for it. All right, I don't need to rant too much about that. I'm always happy to talk about agriculture and farming and food and whatnot anytime, because I am extremely passionate about it. But the point of these videos is to show you that you can build any life, right? Take action on your dreams, because life is going to be short and you don't want to look back and regret not taking action. So go get yourself some healthy food from a local farmer, maybe some eggs or some meat, Don't put trash into your system. Know that the system is not there to support you, and that's why you need to take personal accountability. So, fantastic job today. We did it. We active recovered. Hopefully the body is feeling good and you are ready to hit a good workout tomorrow. And that's what we're here for. I hope to see you all tomorrow. You guys have been fantastic. Quick shout outs to team members: Jody, Jason, Ryan, Yaroslav, Chris, Adam, Rose, Shirley, Tim, and John G. And everybody else that was here this morning: Terry, Jabes, Steve, Peter, Tim. You guys are awesome. Equipment. Have yourself a fantastic Sunday. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Peace.